Hello, Angry Spork here, and I want to talk a bit about potential stuff for Young Justice Season 3. I can't say I'm, anticipating anything in particular other than what was already teased. I don't have a whole lot of fan theories or whatever. We saw the Legion ring at the end, so I'm guessing the Legion will be featured in the season at least as much as the Outsiders. In fact, I'm guessing Season 4 will be called Young Justice Legion. But my real question is, are they going to get Darkseid involved finally? Because they teased him at the end of Season 2. He's kind of been in the background, Puppet Master style in Season 3. And, he still hasn't gotten any dialogue. Part of me wants to say I really want Darkseid to actually get involved and get his hands dirty, because I don't want another season-long tease of what might be. On the other hand, Weissman and Vietti and the crew on the show, they know what they're doing. They're good storytellers, even if they add elements I don't particularly care for. So if they do go all of Season 4 without anyone confronting Darkseid, then okay, maybe they want to save it for a potential Season 5. But Season 5 isn't guaranteed, so you gotta wonder. Or do they think that they're going to be able to maintain the fan base long enough for Season 5 to get greenlit? Or are they going to just say, okay, we're going to have our Darkseid story and it's going to involve the Legion of Superheroes? A few factors play into this. Is there going to be another time jump? Is it going to be a year or two, between Seasons 2 and 3? Or I can't imagine they're going to go much longer than that. I mean, I know they showed Damian as a baby, but you don't want to jump ahead 10 years and show that, now he's grown up and he wants to be Robin, he wants to succeed Batman, just like he did in the comics. On the other hand, maybe they could have Damian grown enough to be a crime fighter in Season 4 if what they did was he basically time travel. He gets lost in the future and he's trained and then he comes back and he wants to... But that kind of deviates a lot from Damian, because a lot of his pomposity comes from the fact that he was raised by the assassins and raised by Ra's al Ghul in part, and he's got this really regal and superior attitude about himself. And you're not going to get that if, you do some time travel shenanigans to age him up so he can finally be Robin, because that's so important. The idea of the Legion being involved, is it going to be just one member? And maybe some of the team will go into the future. Maybe they'll jump back and forth throughout the season. Maybe it'll be a small squad of Legionnaires that have to stay in this time for a while to either observe or get involved. Darkseid's meta-trafficking is kind of on pause now. The most he can hope for is that in cooperation with the Light, he can get some more metas to do his bidding via proxy. And of course, all leading towards the anti-life equation yet again. But other than that, I don't really know how else he's going to be involved. I mean, it could be that the end of Season 4 sees a full-on invasion of Earth by Apocalypse. Let's see your hashtag stop him then. Now, speaking of, the way they could improve from Season 3, I get that, social media and the young people that you're trying to get to watch your show, there's just too much emphasis on the importance of trending and hashtag, and while it can be done to a positive effort, most of the time, I personally don't see it. I mean, a lot of times it's people hashtagging things they're angry about and nothing really happens. Maybe that's just my experience, but I mean, if you're going to focus on stuff like that again, okay, just let's not act like it's life or death, okay? Because there were moments where it's just kind of weird to see so many of these characters just so concerned about what's happening on their equivalent of Twitter or Tumblr or Reddit or Instagram, etc. So playing off some threads I saw on the DC Universe streaming site, like what characters do you want to see in season 4? Well, I know one character I don't want to see. I have acknowledged that the animated version of Harper Row is vastly superior to the comics version, mostly because, if you've seen my other vlogs, you already know this. The animated version took time to kind of build Harper Row, keep her in a limited capacity, not make her more than what she is with very little substance to go with it, and the comics version was garbage and made other good characters worse so she'd appear less than garbage, and it didn't work. That said, I still don't want to see the character again. I don't want her to be pals with any of this heroes, and she's kept in the dark about their secret identity. I don't want her to become Bluebird and start firing off that big old stun rifle, and I don't want her to, it turns out she's really good with electrical. Like, no, I don't want her at all. And I really don't want Cassie to be orphan in season 4. I'm not saying she has to be Batgirl. It would be nice, but I would be okay with her appearing as Black Bat. They completely skip her as Batgirl, and Stephanie is Batgirl. It's not what I'd like, but they already went the route I don't like by calling her orphan. I would like to see those characters move past anything visually or characteristically Eternal related. Because the Eternal books range from okay to, oh sweet mercy, what are you doing? What did I ever do to you that you would inflict this pain upon me? And I don't think that should be validated. So, in season 4, no Harper, no orphan, and I mean, if you want to keep Stephanie a spoiler, I'm okay with it. I just don't like how that costume evokes the Eternal costume, and the reason I don't like that for the most part is because it kind of evokes, her father, and that leads into a whole character thematic thing that is kind of an underlying problem with the retcon. If you wanted to make Cassie Batgirl in season 4, I'd be on board with that. Just like, the whole orphan identity is bad. The whole basis of it is bad. It's based on one guy's bad poetry, which is why it's not very good. The less that's validated, the better. Trust me. I just got to thinking, they've mentioned Tim's relationship with Wonder Girl being on the rocks, so either they just explain that they broke up in between seasons, and he is now seeing Stephanie, or maybe he starts seeing Stephanie in season 4, or maybe they just go ahead with keeping Tim with Miss Sandsmark. They could really go either way. I'm not saying I'm rooting for one or the other, because, yeah, I like Tim and Steph in the comics before Flashpoint, because their relationship actually had a foundation. It wasn't just, well, here it is now. Fill in the blanks yourself, reader. Even that, I'm not too concerned about the whole relationships thing. I mean, I'm not interested in this one guy, or this one group of 5 people on the social media, they want these 2 characters to be together, even though they've never been together in the comics, and they don't ever show any attraction to each other, but these people want them to be together, so we're going to put them... No. I've done a video on this. It's like, just because they think it's a good idea doesn't actually make it a good idea. I'm not interested in seeing any fan pairings. It's like Age of Ultron with Hulk and Black Widow. It didn't make any sense. I'm not invested in a whole lot of the relationship stuff. I would like to see them keep Grayson and Barbara together. I would like them to, show that Superboy and McGann as an item are, still going strong. Maybe get a clue in onto the, the family life of some of these heroes, like we got in some of season 3. Like perhaps John's a little older, so are the other kids, and so forth. They could keep Artemis kind of like still looking for someone, but then you have the whole thing where Zatanna basically lied to her with Megan's help. So they could reveal that somewhere along the line in season 4, or they'll start season 4 with that already having been revealed, and so there's tension between them. Like I think I said that before. Now, Brion is still a factor. I mean, he's running his own country, and he's basically a puppet for the light without knowing it. So that could probably come to a head in season 4 as well. They also teased Jason Todd when Geo-Force, Halo, and Forager went to Raisha's Island. I could see him popping up as, an agent of Ra's al Ghul. I really don't care about seeing him as Red Hood, because, I mean, before Flashpoint, him as Red Hood kind of made sense, because he was working kind of against Batman, and he was more of an adversary. You could have called him an anti-villain. Now they're trying to make him this anti-hero who... They want to include Jason Todd, fine. But Red Hood is just not that interesting a character for me. He's not an important character for me. So if he gets completely cut out, or maybe he dies in season 4, I wouldn't mind. Of course, I don't know how they've played up the Joker in this universe, if he ever was the Red Hood. So if they, find Jason and they fix his brain, decides to join the Bat Crew and so forth, as more of a penitent individual, okay, I can see that. I don't know how you're going to make that into Red Hood, but it's an idea. Hopefully they'll get a bit more action in. I liked the amount of action we got, but there was a lot of exposition, there was a lot of stealth and guile, a lot of talking. I would like to see some more action, and I'd like to see some more of of Superman and Wonder Woman and all these characters getting a bit more of said action. And I know the focus is more on these younger heroes and what have you, but, it's always nice to see Superman punch a giant robotic orangutan out of orbit or something. But as for any characters we have not seen that I'd like to see, I can't really think of anything that I, am, really hoping for. I really just hope that they keep a good budget and that, they can deliver a good product. I can't think of any storylines I want to see adapted in the Young Justice style. I think we all know what ones I want them to avoid. I'm calling Young Justice Legion. Maybe Darkseid will play a larger, more active role. Please, no more Bluebird. Please, no more Harper Row. Please, nothing from the Eternal books as far as the histories of any characters, even ones that aren't Stephanie or Cassandra. No, not good stories. Not good stories. Don't, just leave it alone. Yeah. Because, of course, I have to re-emphasize all that. So I think that's about it. I don't know if I'm going to vlog a season 4. The main reason I did season 3 was because it was such a surprise that we got it. Got a few more clicks out of it. But doing these vlogs can be kind of time-consuming, and there's a lot of stuff that might be different next year. That might not leave me the time to do it, and I don't really want to get into it. Take care. Good night.